I got reprimanded. I got reprimanded by my man.
Oh, they changed.
For saying butterflies, they,
They didn't like that.
that's his words.
You didn't like you using his words?
No.
But as far as I'm concerned, if I'm the one, I mean, I could just say, throw us some money, man. Buy the property, throw us some money, and do what you want to do.
Let me know when you're ready for your question.
What's that? Go by San Luis Market. Let's go. Yeah. I guess everybody, just us. Okay. Right on. Mama,
When it's ready.
okay. Good evening, everyone. City of Ferguson notice a special meeting, June the 10th. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Noah? Here. Councilwoman Covington?
Here.
Councilman Cassoff? Mayor Shropshire?
Here.
Councilman Franklin?
Here.
Councilman Palmer? Councilman,
Excused,
okay. Councilman Williams?
unexcused.
Okay.
Kirk London, please, well, go to the budget. Dave, City Manager, Dave Musgrave, would you give us the report, please?
Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor. I've sent you several emails, text messages, lovely things over the past couple of days. I believe that this group is aware of what's on the table right now, but I want to review it for everybody's benefit. At this point, we are looking at the police department, an office manager, a clerk, and a captain, and then one of our nuisance abatement workers from Department 32. At this point, with these cuts, we have eliminated or frozen 12 total positions in 6 different departments. And at total, we're at about $2.2 million in cuts compared to last year's budget, just so we all know where we are. I do believe that this is as close as we're going to get to balance at this point. As I mentioned in previous meetings, we're monitoring spending and revenues on a monthly basis. I'll be trying to get you reports at least quarterly so you know where we're standing. And that's kind of what our plan of action is moving forward. We'll try to be as lean and mean as we can and address things as we're moving forward. But that's where we're at, just so everybody knows we're on the same page. So if there's questions, I'm more than happy to answer them, but I think that's where we are.
Yes, Councilwoman Covington.
Hopefully you can hear me pretty well. Okay, so you said eliminate or freeze. Some of the positions are going to be eliminated, like we won't hire again for those, but some we're just freezing, hopefully into January, correct?
And so that'll be on a case-by-case scenario. Your narrative will reflect zeros in the columns right now. That way they are not funded in the budget. If we need to do a budget amendment and unfreeze those positions, it'll be a motion that comes back to you for that budget amendment to bring those positions back, because that'll be the cleanest way. When I said eliminate or freeze, some of these positions are currently vacant, and that's what I mean. So we're not hiring. Some are staffed, and they're going to be layoffs due to budgetary restrictions or reduction in force at that point. So that makes sense?
Mhm.
I just have a question. With the abatement, that has nothing to do with streets being repaired or anything to that nature, am I right?
That is correct. So your street department currently has 10 maintenance workers in it. That's dedicated to streets and grass and all those things. We also have 3 positions that are staffed out of Department 71, which is a parks maintenance account. The difference between those two is that the 71 account is reimbursed by the Parks Department in their fund. So basically anything that is in the 71 department, which is parks maintenance, we do a transfer from the actual parks fund back over in the general fund to cover those expenses. So 3 of your maintenance workers that do work within the parks and other things are funded from the parks budget with that transfer. But the nuisance abatement worker and the code enforcement officer that were eliminated have nothing to do with the street department or with parks maintenance. That is correct.
Now, and another question, the nuisance abatement worker, he does not cut the grass in the parks, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so we will not lose any maintenance of our turf maintenance far as in our parks and around our islands that are ours and trimming the bushes. All that will stay the same. Am I right?
That is correct.
Okay, nuisance abatement. How, are they really very busy? You know, I'd just like to know their scope of,
Their
There-
supervisors here, but I forget how many tickets they've done, but it's over 700 at this point this year. So they've addressed over 700 cases with the crew of 2 to 3 right now, over the course of the last 6 months, 5.5 months, whatever you want to call it, from January 1st to now. They've done over 700 work tickets. So you can do the math there.
so we will still have 2 nuisance abatements every day doing some work in our city.
Yes.
That service will not go away.
That's correct. Depending on the number of tickets, calls, that kind of stuff, it could slow down. So how they're tasked, basically, they're doing the dictated lots the city owns. So all the residential properties the city owns, they're doing those on the regular. They do board ups, they do trash pickup. And then we go through the court system for several code violations, that kind of stuff. And when those go to code, we have to get warrants to be able to step on those properties. So we try to only take so many to the judge at a time so they can get them in a 10-day period because the warrant expires after 10 days. And so we may have 50 warrants that are ready to go, but we may only sign 25 or 30 for a 10-day period because we know they can't get to all 50 in that 10-day period. So we try to gauge that depending on how difficult the work they're going to be doing and that kind of thing. So we don't exasperate that warrant period because past 10 days, we lose the right to go on that property. We have to go back through the court process again, if that makes sense.
Okay, another question.
Mhm.
Far as getting police reports from PD. The clerks, was that part of their job as getting police reports out in a timely manner? And will that service take a hit? I know it does take time
Mhm.
to get the reports, you know, and nothing comes just like that. But the time that it does take, is there a amount of time that we give the public to get our police reports, say for an accident, they need it for insurance?
So every sunshine request has the same time parameter on it. We have 3 days to reply, and then we let the party know how long it's going to take us to generate that, what they are looking for, whether it's a police report, public document, whatever. It's the same process for sunshine requests. Yes, it is true that the police clerks, they are the ones that handle the records requests. I cannot gauge how many are going to come in on a weekly basis, monthly basis, so I can't say if that's going to slow them or not by reducing this number of positions. I would anticipate yes, if we have a large volume, but yes, that is one of their duties.
Okay, that was a few questions that I wanted the public to know, the citizens to know that are listening this evening, that, you know, it might be a slowdown. It's not sure, just depending on the amount of reports that are filed by our officers and amount of whatever might be going on, crime, accidents, or break-ins, what's going on in the city. And I want to make it clear that there will be no slowdown in our turf maintenance, as far as in our parks and on our easements. We will continue to clean the 501. There'll be no problems there. And I just want everybody to just understand that. That's all. Thank you, City Manager. Yes. Councilwoman Noah.
Thank you, Mayor. With the nuisance and abatement workers, so when it's cold out, we know that they're not mowing grass. You know, I mean, I understand that they still have to complete the board ups, and you just explained the process with the trash on the properties. But what else are they doing?
So in the past, because we've only had them for 1 season, they've been helping with board ups, cleaning up of trash, lots, that kind of stuff. You can still cut back brush in the winter. The plan moving forward was to bring demo in-house, and that same team would then help with the demolition of the property, so we're not outsourcing that anymore. Pardon? Oh, snow plowing and everything else too. They help with our dead ends. They help with our sidewalks. Last year, if you recall, we did the sidewalks down
So they help
South
with that.
Florissant. They
Okay.
were the ones out there with the snow blowers, doing the sidewalks, doing all that stuff, because Public Works doesn't have enough personnel for that. So we double them up with the Public Works team to do all that winter work, is what it
Okay.
goes down to. They are definitely paid out of a different department, and they're not daily with Public Works. But when there's a downtime, they step in, even in the summer. If for some reason they were slow 1 week, Corey can task them with other responsibilities to keep them busy, and that's the way those departments work together. So,
Thank you.
yep.
So I just want to
thank you for getting a budget to us that we could, finally approve and move forward, and looking forward to, your fiscal oversight over the coming years and getting us out of this issue so that we don't repeat it. So thanks for that. I wondered, would you want to speak to the potential ballot measures? One of the council persons that's not here tonight kind of put it online about taxes being raised. So did you want to speak to the ideas to generate additional revenues?
So I don't want to go too far in detail because I'm still researching several options.
Okay.
I will mention two that we're looking at strongly, and nothing's been decided officially. We need to look at the budget and figure out what it is. But the two that are currently being weighed and have been presented to this council was a sales tax for fire as well as a property tax for EMS and fire. The kicker with both of those, we put them hopefully on a November ballot. Sales tax would be, of course, part of the pool, Ferguson, so it's not going to affect residents as directly. And don't get me wrong, it affects everybody because we're buying goods, but it's not as severe as a property tax per se in the eyes of most people. The property tax, same thing, it would be a direct effect to the residents of Ferguson. The kicker with the property tax is we would not see any benefit as a city for over a year because of the way property tax is done. So sales tax would kind of go into effect on January 1 of 27. So we would see that yield on this current fiscal year budget. If the property tax were to pass, it would be assessed on your next assessment, but that doesn't come due until December of 27. So we would not see any benefit on this current fiscal year. It would be the subsequent fiscal year coming up, if that makes sense.
And if these measures pass, that would free up a general fund revenue
That's correct.
for other things. correct?
So a lot of talk has whirled around Prop P money, use tax dollars, these taxes that were directed directly at fire or emergency services. Between the two departments, you've got between 10 and really $11 million of the general fund tied up. And so all those dollars do go directly to police, directly to fire, but the general fund overall is still subsidizing both of those departments. And so by having another fire tax come in, that's less subsidy that the general fund is having to put within that department. And so that's how you can say, oh, we're getting more fund into the general fund based on this tax, because the money that will be generated goes directly to fire just as it's intended to, but then we're having to subsidize fire's budget less or subsidize police's budget less from the general fund.
Okay, thank you.
I think I explained that right.
There's one thing while we're here, there is one thing I'd like for you to explain. The fire tax. Now, what would that go into safety, total package, fire and police? Or is that just strictly going to fire? Because I think, the citizens would like to see a little bit here, a little bit there.
So
If that's the way, if it's set up that way, I don't know. That's why I'm.
oh, yeah, both of the language for these ballots from what I've researched is direct fire. And so they would be subsidizing the fire budgets because one is an EMS and one is a fire tax. So you would just be freeing up general fund dollars from the fire department's budget to then allocate back to police's portion or the general fund's portion, like I mentioned previously. There's nothing in these ballot languages that is directed at emergency services overall, unlike the use tax that we had passed previously, which was directed to both.
Okay. Now, Prop P money, was that for clarity?
It's for both.
Was that part of a joint split for police and fire? And I know some people said, well, the county had one too. It was two Prop Ps.
Mhm.
So when it comes to that funding, do we still have our Prop P money funding in and we get a portion from the county too? Am I right?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, thank you, City Manager.
Like I mentioned before, my plan of action right now, the previous budget did fail. I will get this all together, hopefully no later than Monday, get it out to council first, and then it'll go in the next packet for the normal June 23rd city council meeting for approval. So if there's any other questions, I'm more happy to answer them, but that's all I had. Thank you.
Like I said, I appreciate you getting it together.
I appreciate you, Dave. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, this is a quick one this evening. I'm requesting a motion and a second.
So moved.
The voice vote, please.
Aye. Yeah, just say all in favor.
All in favor? We just do it that way. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
All of those?
Call a vote, please.
No, all of
We just did it. We're done. Oh, we're out. Hey, meeting adjourned. It's done. Where you going? Man? Back to the house.
Like, they stomps, like, triple check and stuff. Yeah, ready for this stomps. Mostly.